Alright guys, 20 romantic rose and or chocolate fragrances that are perfect for Valentine's Day. I try to find fragrances that feature both chocolate and rose together, and even though I have some in this list, majority of them are either rose and or chocolate. So if you want to find out what these are perfect for Valentine's Day, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, Valentine's Day is around the corner. I don't think I did a Valentine's themed video last year. I can't think. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But either way, I have a few on the channel, but this is a brand new one. And I was trying to combine these, notes that would be perfect for a Valentine's Day fragrance, or any time you want to wear smelling like a Valentine's Day, I guess. Roses, chocolates, sweets, things like that. These are exactly what these fragrances are all about. And so I'll let you know what they are. But before I do that, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below, and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So what's going to happen with this list is I'm going to start off with rose, and then eventually it's going to melt into rose and chocolate, and then more chocolate at the end of the video. And I'm going to start off right off the bat with one of the most authentic rose fragrances, and this is from the Gucci Alchemist Garden collection. It's a Song for the Rose. Now the reason I really like this one as a smell is because it reminds me of when my dad used to travel to Bulgaria, and he used to bring my mom vials of rose oil, and the oils in there had this really beautiful fragrance of rose. They were just like really beautiful essences, like just all natural but really strong, jammy, rosy fragrances. And this is that, it has some jammy qualities in here, but it's also has fresh qualities at the same time. But it's some spice in there. There's a little bit of like a clovey kind of undertone or a cinnamony touch under there, but with musk and woodsy notes. It's a really gorgeous rose fragrance. I think this is definitely a top-notch release from this collection, and the fact that when fragrances remind me of certain times in my life or certain things makes it even better to enjoy. If you want to smell like roses for Valentine's Day, this is a great scent to do that with. It's a Song for the Rose from the house of Gucci. We're gonna go to a fragrance from a house called TIZIANA TERENZI, and it's Gold Rose Oud. And here, this is your typical rose and oud combination. I don't have too many of those in here, maybe one or two more, and I'm also trying to keep it to one fragrance from one house. But this one, as I said, oud and rose together, it's a match made in heaven, and you have the best of both worlds here, equally balanced out. But in addition to those notes, it also features some honey, some fir, some sand, patchouli. Patchouli, gotta love that one. It combines beautifully with these two notes, oud and rose, amber, musk, and sandalwood. Very long lasting. Yes, it does remind me of, black oud. It's very similar to this particular style, but I enjoy them both equally. But since I have another MONTALE on the list, I went with TIZIANA TERENZI's Gold Rose Oud today for this video. Going to the house of Frederic Malle, it's Une Rose, this one right here. So I was going to go with Portrait of a Lady, but I decided to go with Une Rose because this is more of like an authentic rose smell. Portrait of a Lady is rose, but it has all those spices and incense and the fruits and the patchouli. And this one is just really authentic. I find these two have similarities, not identical, but it's that really gorgeous, kind of like really pungent and sweet rose smell that I quite like. This one has some uniquer touches, like there's some geranium listed in the notes. So that part reminds me of Rose and Queer from the same house, but there's also some red wine, some truffle, honey, fruits, and woods. But really gorgeous. If you like this like really authentic rose fragrance, smelling of like rose oil or rose essence or something, definitely this one. And I recommend this one as well. So this is Une Rose from the house of Frederic Malle. And then we're going to go with something a little more of a bouquet with roses and other flowers, going to the house of Parfums DUSITA. And this is La Douceur de SIAM. So this one features rose, Champaca, Frangipani, Ylang-Ylang, violet leaf, sandalwood, cloves, vanilla, and amber. So in the end, it's sort of tropical, but I feel like the rose is very prominent here. You do smell the rose, but it's in addition to the roses, you have those other flowers with a little bit of spice and you know, vanilla and amber added to it, and it smells like a beautiful bouquet of very, very fragrant flowers. It's not just rose, it's a little tropical, but it's quite beautiful, and you know, it's great to wear. It's really, really a very romantic fragrance. That's kind of the theme with this video. A lot of these fragrances I find very, very romantic, and you know, the word love comes to mind. So either way, La Douceur de Siam, it's from the house of Parfums, DUSITA. Going to the house of Tom Ford, and I only went with one fragrance. I decided to leave off another one I was going to feature on here. It's Noir de Noir. So Noir de Noir, it's just very, very sexy. It's a sexy fragrance, but you know, you can put it into the category of romantic as well, because it's all rose. It's a very, very dark rose with patchouli, truffles from under the ground, oud, saffron, vanilla, floral touches, and some oak moss. In the end, it's a sheeper, but what a gorgeous fragrance this is. It's absolutely gorgeous, and this one garners a lot of compliments. There was a time I was wearing this one just so much. I would just wear it and wear it and wear it, and compliments would come in. This was like years ago, probably like 6 years ago. It's still kind of up there as a great smell, and I recently rediscovered it and I absolutely love it, and I think it's a great Valentine's Day fragrance. Noir de Noir is a great scent from the house of Tom Ford, and I would also go with this one, and I haven't spoken about this one for quite some time. It's Charlatan from the house of Forte MANLE. They do have similarities. This one reminds me of Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, but this is a little bit of a dirtier version of that, a little more sexier, maybe slightly skankier. Pear, dark chocolate, jasmine, rose, truffles, vanilla, amber. I think the jasmine in here is the kind of a dirty, indolic kind of jasmine, but it adds a new twist to that, to the fragrance that I really love. Really, they do have lots of similarities to me, but they go in different directions. In the end, when you smell one another, it'll remind you of one another, but if you want the dirtier version of it, the naughtier version, I should say, then you can go with Charlatan from the house of Forte MANLE. So next, go into a fragrance. We're slowly getting into kind of the gourmand territory here. I'm going with a fragrance that features rose with coffee. It's a Meo Fascione's A Little Song, but really a wonderful fragrance that features not only roses but coffee. But it's not a milky coffee like Intense Cafe. It's more of a, you know, dark drip kind of coffee, but beautifully combined with roses, vetiver, tobacco, coffee, rose, pink pepper, clary sage. There's some civet and there's some musk, but quite gorgeous. This fragrance got me to really be curious about this house, so I want to explore it more. But if you like the combination of this rose and coffee together with tobacco and spices and a little bit of animalic touch, then Little Song will satisfy you. How many of you know about this house? How many of you checked out my review of it? And you know, I did a video, a review of this one. We did a giveaway. No one claimed their prize. Sad. It was a full bottle. Either way, Meo Fascione Little Song is a great fragrance for you to try for Valentine's Day. And speaking of coffee with, you know, a rose, it's an Intense Cafe. Can't leave this one off. This is very, very cozy. It's rosy, it's latte, less coffee, more milk. It's lactonic. There's some musk and there's some amber in here with a little bit of floral touches, but it's a gem of a fragrance. I always say this in my videos. I've turned on so many women and some men to this fragrance, and they absolutely fell in love with it and wear it all the time. They themselves tell me they garner very, very much compliments with this one. And I think it's, no, not, I don't think, I know for a fact it's my favorite Montale fragrance. I just love the way it smells. You know, those are the smells that sometimes you smell something and it's like, that's it, that's for me. I love it. I love the way it smells, and this still is my #1 fragrance from this house. I just love the way it smells. It's absolutely fantastic. So that's Intense Cafe, something more like a rosy latte coffee combo with some amber and musk and flowers. And then speaking of rose with something vanillic or, you know, gourmandish, Oud Satin Mood from the house of Maison Francis KURKDJIAN. This is the EDP version. And this one for me is a combination of Turkish rose with Bulgarian rose. There's a little bit of vanilla, there's oud, there's benzoin, and a little bit of violet leaves. Or actually not violet leaves, but it's violets as the flower. But you know, it's potent, it's long-lasting, it's intense, it's rosy, it's vanillic, it's smooth and silky. There's a little bit of musky touch in there, but really a gem of a fragrance, and it's perfect for Valentine's Day, I think, because, you know, that sweet vanilla and benzoin in here, along with the rose, I think is a magical combination for this particular holiday, or, you know, the time of the year. And the one thing I want to say is oud is not so potent for me here. There is oud, but it's not like overwhelming. That's why I feel like it's a perfect fragrance for somebody to wear on Valentine's Day. So that's Oud Satin Mood from the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Next, going to a fragrance from the house of Strangelove New York City, and it's Melt My Heart. So this one is an oud and dark chocolate, orris butter, and iris combination of notes, but it's really kind of powdery. So mostly it's like an iris balm, or orris butter balm, I should say, because it's very, very buttery in there. And then it's like sprinkled with the chocolate notes, or maybe you're just mixing that butter with chocolate and, you know, kind of wearing it, because that's a combination I get with this one. But it's definitely on the powdery side. There is a little bit of a lipsticky touch under there, a slight bit, but it's kind of like a lipsticky touch with chocolate and oud out in there as well. The oud combination with the dark chocolate and orris butter works great. So the oud touches gives it a little bit of a woody touch to it, but just a little bit of dirtiness, like you know how oud smells. Not a lot. So this one is not overwhelming with the oud like the rest of their fragrances are, but I think this one's a great, great fragrance for Valentine's Day. So this is Melt My Heart from Strangelove in New York City. Next, going to a house called Guerlain. This is Gourmand Coquin from the Elixir Charnel collection of fragrances. And this is so good. Sad thing about this one is its thinness. It's kind of on the thin side. But as a smell, it smells fantastic, and I really, really love the way it smells. It's dark chocolate, cacao, there's rum, it's boozy. And I also pick up some fruity touches under there. There could be some like cherries, maybe some passion fruit, just like light fruits running throughout it. But the combination is delicious. It's Guerlain's take on the dark chocolate cacao rum combo with fruits. I think it's perfect, but I would appreciate something a little thicker, because it's, as I said, it's a thin kind of a fragrance, but smells fantastic. So that's Gourmand Coquin Elixir Charnel from the house of Guerlain. Next, it's Fève Delicious, one of my favorite fragrances, and this one it's tonka after all, but it's a chocolate covered tonka with light cherry touches, but there's also vanilla. There's some you know, a little bit of a fruity touches in there, and I think there's some iris in here as well, gives it a little bit of a powdery touch. But in the end, if you like your tonka beans covered with dark chocolate or some dusting of chocolate, I think this one will satisfy. I just can't get enough of the smell. It's very, very delicious. It's cozy. It's not syrupy as much as I would like it to be, but I think I like the combination of the syrupiness with it, along with the powderiness as well. Fève Delicious, wonderful fragrance from Dior. Please don't ever discontinue that fragrance, because I absolutely love it. So the next one is going to the house of Acro, and it's dark. So referring to dark chocolate. Acro fragrances are all inspired by addictions, and this one is addiction to dark chocolate, and they've captured the dark chocolate perfect here. It's cacao, hazelnuts, dark chocolate, cinnamon, and vanilla. So after all, it's kind of like a combination of you know, some unique twists to the dark chocolate, because you're not just getting plain dark chocolate. You've got, you know, the nuttiness in there, a little bit of spiciness, and a little bit of a vanilla touch, but absolutely love it. I love this collection. I actually really love 5 of their fragrances. Maybe 4 really love. The 2 others are not as like love, but 4 of them I quite enjoy, and hopefully I can do a video on the whole house. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on this particular house, Acro. But in the meantime, if you're looking for a great chocolatey fragrance for Valentine's Day, dark is a great fragrance for to wear for Valentine's Day, or just if you want to wear it any time of the year because you like chocolate in fragrances. Next on the list is a fragrance from the house of Gallagher Fragrances, and it's Wicked Good. I feel like this kind of has similarities to something like this, but they kind of go in different directions. Whereas this is more about tonka beans, this is more about the chocolate and tonka beans, so it's kind of reversed as the experience is. And also this is a little more complex to me, but a little thinner than this. Is less complex but a lot thicker, so it has greater longevity. But if you like the idea of dark chocolate with tonka beans and some vanillic touches, maybe there's some resinous benzoin touches in here as well, this is a great great fragrance. Perfect fragrance. Really, really delicious fragrance. So that's Wicked Good from the house of Gallagher Fragrances. Next up, going to the house of Nishane. It's Passion Choco, and here we got Nishane's take on chocolate. But it's a fruity chocolate once again, and it's dark chocolate, passion fruit, coffee. I do get some boozy touches in there, but you know what? There was a time I did not like chocolate fragrances. I think one fragrance ruined my appreciation of chocolate fragrances, but several came along the way, and I started appreciating chocolate in fragrances. Something about the one I don't like, and I don't want to mention it, I've mentioned it in other videos, just threw me off. It smelled like rotten bread with chocolate. Didn't really appreciate that fragrance. But here, it's a great fragrance. There's the boozy touch in there. It's almost like a chocolate liqueur, fruits, you know, fruits covered with chocolate, and it's got drizzled with some kind of what do you call it, like rum or something, and then dusted with like coffee grounds. That's what I get with this one. It's quite yummy, and a perfect, delicious fragrance for this particular holiday, Valentine's Day, or any time of the year when you're looking for a chocolatey gourmand, because I feel like it's a great scent. For me, it doesn't match other Nishane fragrances as in their strength, but chocolate fragrances generally are not like overwhelming. So I think what they've given us here is perfection. So that's Passion Choco from the house of Nishane. We're going to two fragrances from one house, and even though I said that there's only one fragrance from one house, I wanted to feature these both together here. It's from a house called Panna London, and this is Pink Champagne Truffle, and then we have Strawberry Delight. You know, because they're just perfect Valentine's Day fragrances, because in the end, Strawberry Delight features strawberries, dark chocolate, a light liqueur note, and then there's some roses in there as well. Here we have the rose and chocolate together, and then that's Pink Champagne Truffle, and then Strawberry Delight. So Strawberry Delight is strawberries, dark chocolate, there's a little bit of a boozy liqueur, and of course the roses, and then Pink Champagne Truffle is dark chocolate, and then also raspberries and champagne. So it's just a great combination of beautiful dark chocolate with fruits, and then of course some booziness. So in the end, I find these to be excellent choices for Valentine's Day, not only because they combine dark chocolate but also the roses together and some fruits and boozy touches. So that's Strawberry Delight here, and that's Pink Champagne Truffle from the house of Panna London. Next, going to a house called Histoires de Parfums, and this is 1969. Boy, was I wrong with this fragrance. I thought for the longest time 1969 referred to the, you know, the psychedelic 60s and of course patchouli and things like that. Boy, was I wrong, because this is all about chocolate and fruits. So this one features peaches, cardamom, dark chocolate, but wow, delicious fragrance. Really delicious experience. I really love wearing it. Now this is also syrupy sweets. I've heard from some people say it becomes too syrupy sweet. I can see that with this one, so spray a little less, or you know, you can also layer it with something like Molecule 1 and it'll balance out the sweetness if you're ever experiencing something like overly sickly sweet, because this can go that way. And what it does with the eccentric molecules, Molecule 1, it is kind of like neutralizes it and doesn't overwhelm with the sweetness as much. That's what I do, but you know, I really love the sweetness with this one. I love that whole dark chocolate with the peaches in here. Really yummy. So that's 1969 from the house of Histoires de Parfums. Next, we're going to a house called the Perfume Roma. It's a Soriso, all about dark chocolate here. all about dark chocolate. Really, really delicious. Vanilla, dark chocolate, bitter orange. I think that's pretty much the notes that they credit here. There are some light orangey touches, and oranges and chocolate combine really beautifully together with the vanilla. I think I would add one more note. I think there's some benzoin in here, because benzoin, I can pick up some resinous touches, but there's some powdery touches in here, but really, really gourmand, like ultra gourmand with the chocolate. I think the chocolate is really, really yummy, and that's why I think it's perfect for Valentine's Day. So that's Parfumum Roma Soriso. And then I'm going to go ahead and end this video with Xerjoff's Via Cavour 1 here. So this is a fragrance that features not only chocolate, it also features rose, and then it also features oud. But so delicious. This is absolutely delicious. This is an exclusive fragrance. If you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. White peaches, quince, rose, oud, cashmeran, caramel, dark chocolate, vanilla. The combination is intoxicating. As soon as I smelled this fragrance in their store in Italy, I was like, this is for me. This fragrance is for me. Very, very romantic fragrance. It's very Italian. Of course, it's Xerjoff. And you've got all of those notes that are perfect for Valentine's Day. So Via Cavour 1 from the House of Xerjoff is the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about today. That's perfectly romantic for Valentine's Day. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know what are your favorite Valentine's Day fragrances, and why don't you not stop there. Tell me what your favorite rose fragrances are, chocolate fragrances are, and also if you have a favorite fragrance that combines chocolate and rose together, please make sure to put that in there as well, because I'd like to find out what your favorites are. Either way, guys, I hope you have a happy Valentine's Day. If you have any questions or comments, list below. Please do like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.